In the heart of Africa's wilderness, hippos dominate their territories. These colossal animals might look docile from afar, lounging in rivers and grazing on grass. But don't be fooled. Hippos rank among the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And today we're diving into 4 horrifying tales of hippo attacks that prove why. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Creature Planet for more shocking wildlife stories. Let's get into it. Our first story takes us to Kenya, where a peaceful fishing trip on Lake Naivasha turned into a nightmare. Paul Odhiambo, a 21-year-old villager, was known as a skilled fisherman, but even his experience couldn't save him from what was about to happen. One evening he set out alone in his wooden canoe, the lake glistening under the dim light of dusk. But as he cast his net, something strange happened. The water around his canoe began to ripple, a disturbance too large for fish. Without warning, a hippo erupted from the depths. Its massive jaws clamped down on the canoe, splitting the wood apart like it was a toothpick. Paul tumbled into the water, desperate to escape. But hippos aren't just territorial, they're vicious. The animal attacked again, biting down on Paul and tossing him into the air like a rag doll. Witnesses on shore said they could hear his screams echo across the lake. By the time the hippo submerged, it was too late. Paul didn't survive. His death shocked the local community. But for those living near the lake, it was a grim reminder. Hippos don't tolerate intrusions, even from humans. Now, if you think hippos are only dangerous near water, our second story paints an entirely different picture. In South Africa's Kruger National Park, a safari guide named Michael Skye faced his worst nightmare during what should have been a routine drive. Known for his extensive knowledge of wildlife, Michael had stopped his jeep to give his group a clearer view of grazing hippos in the distance. The animals seemed calm, almost uninterested. But suddenly, one colossal hippo charged towards the jeep at lightning speed. What followed was chaos. The hippo rammed the vehicle with the force of a battering ram, flipping it onto its side. Terrified passengers scrambled to escape, but Michael was trapped inside. As glass shattered and tires spun uselessly, the hippo continued attacking, biting and smashing into the vehicle until its aggression finally subsided. When the rescue team arrived, Michael was badly injured, suffering fractured ribs and a dislocated shoulder. Miraculously, he survived, but the event changed him forever. Today, he warns others about how unpredictable these animals are, even when you think you're at a safe distance. But nothing compares to our third story, an extraordinary tale of survival that almost defies belief. In Malawi, 19-year-old Christy Lane had just moved to the country for a research internship studying birds. One sunny afternoon, Christy and her friends decided to canoe along the Shire River, unaware that the waters were teeming with danger. As they paddled leisurely along, a hippo charged them with shocking speed. The force of its attack capsized their canoe, sending everyone into the water. In the chaos, Christy was dragged away from the group and directly into the hippo's jaws. Its razor-sharp teeth sank into her leg with tremendous force. As the animal pulled her under, Christy could see the dark shadows of its enormous body looming over her. But then, miraculously, something stirred in the river. Another canoe nearby approached, and the commotion startled the hippo long enough for Christy to be pulled to safety. She was rushed to the hospital with severe injuries, including deep lacerations and broken bones in her leg, but doctors were amazed she survived. For Christy, the experience was life-changing. She later reflected that she'd underestimated the sheer speed and territorial nature of hippos, the very animals she'd been excited to study. Her story serves as a haunting reminder. Even the most tranquil waters can hide an unseen predator. Finally, we end with what may be one of the most harrowing hippo attacks ever recorded. In Uganda's Queen Elizabeth National Park, local tour operator Joseph Baluku took his clients for a boat cruise along the Kazinga Channel. The trip was popular for its up-close view of river wildlife, and people often marveled at the hippos bobbing serenely in the water. But on this day, something went terribly wrong. As the boat edged closer to a cluster of hippos, Joseph noticed one of them behaving aggressively. It lifted its head from the water and stared directly at the boat. Before anyone could react, the hippo charged with incredible force, ramming the vessel and tipping everyone into the channel. Panic erupted as tourists scrambled for safety, but Joseph had locked eyes with the hippo. In that split second, he knew it would attack again. And he was right. The hippo lunged at Joseph in the water, clamping its massive jaws on his torso. Witnesses reported seeing blood churn into the waters as Joseph twisted and fought to free himself. Somehow, after what felt like an eternity, the hippo released him and fled. When Joseph was finally pulled onto another boat, his injuries were horrifying. Deep gashes, a crushed rib cage, and punctured lungs. Yet, against all odds, Joseph survived the attack. It took months of recovery, but he made it, a testament to his strength and sheer will to live. So, why are these attacks so common? Hippos might look slow and peaceful, but they are deceptively fast, able to run up to 30 kilometers per hour on land and swim with remarkable agility. Combine their speed with their hyper-territorial nature, and it's no wonder they're responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large animal. What's more concerning is their unpredictability. Hippos don't attack out of fear, they attack out of dominance. Whether you're in the water or on land, if a hippo feels you're encroaching on its territory, it will strike. But perhaps the scariest fact of all, hippo attacks are almost impossible to prevent. Unlike most predators that can be deterred by loud noises or aggressive posturing, hippos have no fear of humans or our weapons. If one decides to charge, the damage is inevitable. These stories are chilling proof of the dangers lurking in Africa's waterways. So remember, next time you admire a hippo from afar, make sure it stays that way. Don't underestimate the most dangerous vegetarian on Earth. Thanks for watching Creature Planet. If you're captivated by wildlife stories and love exploring nature's dark side, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.